Hey YouTube, Brian LCS. Thanks for stopping by the channel and this video, how USPS cost me over $100. So we're going to jump right in. Wanted to kind of share this story and not so much from a loss of money perspective, but more of this change that I recently discovered. So I wanted kind of people to be aware of it because a lot of us mail comic books, obviously, right? To AOKs, giveaways, whether we're selling things. And I had two different instances recently that cost me money. One was a sale on eBay. I had sold an action figure through eBay. I list casually on eBay. eBay is one of my favorite platforms because it's the kind of set it and forget it. And then if you make the sale, you can send something out. So it's one of the platforms that I prefer. So sold an action figure and shipped it out and got a message a few days later from the buyer that the package was damaged. And so that's one of the worst things that can happen is selling something, right? That the buyer receives it and it's damaged. So, eBay has a system where you can put in a claim. And so he was looking for, a refund. And so since I had shipped it Ground Advantage is one of USPS's fairly new shipping classes that is kind of low cost. It typically gets to the person in 3 to 5 days, and comes with $100 of insurance. So it's one of the reasons I like to use it because it's built in. You have $100 worth of protection built in. I put a claim in with USPS, and I had photos of the damaged package and the damaged action figure, and put the claim in and didn't hear anything back. And then about a week later, week to 10 days, I got a letter in the mail stating that the claim was being reviewed, but they needed more information. And the more information that they needed was they wanted to actually see the packaging and the damaged item. And so I thought the pictures were enough. But unfortunately, they actually want you to now bring the item and packaging into a post office, which is totally, very inconvenient for you to have to actually bring the item back in. And really, at this point, 2 weeks into the transaction, I'm highly doubting that the actual buyer of the item still had the original packaging. So I reached out to him and see if there was something if this would be something that he would be even willing to do. And I didn't hear anything back, and he continued to follow his claim through eBay. And so I ended up offering him just a refund of, a partial refund, and told him, keep the item and I'll give you a little bit of a discount for the inconvenience. He accepted that, and so that was it. But I continued to follow up with the post office to try to find out, this new policy of actually having to bring the item and packaging into the post office. They basically said, yeah, that's their new policy, that they need more information, that pictures of the item will not be enough for them to rule on the claim. And so I got another letter about 30 days into this transaction that, because no further information was provided, that the case is going to be closed and that there was going to be no decision. So basically, I was out the money. That there would be no reimbursement through the insurance. So, which is really unfortunate because as a seller of items, I don't have the control to be able to bring the item into the post office. I don't have the item. I don't have the packaging. I'm the one who sent it and now has to try to make it right for the buyer. And so very unfortunate that their change in policy now is that you need to bring the item back into the post office for further inspection. Now, I usually ship USPS. I use Ground Advantage because of the built-in insurance, and I also ship Priority. And I've very rarely had an issue. There's been a few times that I've had damage and I've submitted the claim just through photos and it was accepted and I was refunded money. And so I had another instance through the community. So I casually sell on Instagram. I have an Instagram account that sells books. I was doing a $2 claim sale around the beginning of July. I sold a bunch of books to the community, and so I shipped them out to probably 5 or 6 different buyers, and I sent one package out. So one person bought about 35 books, or actually even more, maybe 40 books. The total was about $100, between the books, the cost of the books and shipping. I sent it in a medium flat rate priority box, packed it up well, bubble wrap, and sent it off. And then a few days later, I got an Instagram message that the box was damaged, and most of the books in the box were damaged as well. And so let's take a look at some of the photos. As you can see, the box was pretty much crushed on the corner, and then, which basically crushed a corner of almost every book that was sent. And so, again, I went and said, all right, I'm priority mail. That includes at least $100 of insurance. So I submitted the claim. And again, had to wait, didn't hear anything back from the post office. You don't get an email, you don't get a phone call, you get a letter, which I guess kind of makes sense as, USPS, they're in the business of sending things through the mail. And so that's their method of communication. So got a same letter back saying that they need more information, that if the receiver of the package could bring the item into the post office and the box and damaged items for further inspection. Again, reached out to the buyer and said, is this something that you could do? And unfortunately, they couldn't. So when the post office is open, they're typically at work. And so we couldn't make it happen. And again, assuming that this is going to follow the same pattern as the action figure. And sure enough, that's what happened. I had submitted all the pictures, but they wanted to physically inspect everything, and then got a letter back. And basically saying, look, if you can't bring the item in, we can't move forward with this insurance claim. So I had to make it right with the buyer, right? I mean, it was really not their fault that, USPS damaged the box in transit. And so I refunded them their money and told them to keep the books. Now, because that's the problem now. If I wanted the books back, well, one, the books are already damaged. And then two, it would cost me additional money to ship it, back to me. I would pick up that cost as the buyer. So it's, I understand it's the cost of doing business. I'm not a big business. I'm just doing this to surplus some books that I don't want to keep in the PC. And I really thought I had the protection of the insurance through USPS. Like I said, priority comes with it, and so does this ground advantage. And unfortunately, unless you bring the damaged items in, the items and the actual box for further inspection, it looks, and now I'm 2 for 2, where they will not, issue you a refund. So I really just kind of wanted to make sure that people were aware of it in the community. I know a lot of us ship items, and we use, ground advantage, priority mail. And so you think you have this insurance protection, but unfortunately, unless you go this further step of now bringing the item in for inspection, it doesn't appear that USPS will honor that insurance. And so, in this case, I had to refund the eBay buyer and then also the community member. So I dished out refunds of over $100 that came out of my pocket. And so, and no reimbursement on the insurance claim from the USPS. So just wanted to kind of make sure that people were aware of it. I wasn't aware of this policy change. I haven't been able to find any information when they actually did that. I don't know if it's because there's been so many insurance claims that people were kind of taking advantage of just submitting photos, because obviously you can, you could submit photos of other boxes, different damaged things, and try to claim them as, insurance. And so I'm sure there's, possibly a lot of insurance fraud in that type of system. And so that's why the USPS is now requiring you to bring these items in to the post office for further inspection. But so that's my tale, out $100. But again, as a seller of items, I wanted to try to make it right for people that are buying from me as customers. So try to do the right thing. and was really hoping I had this, this extra layer of protection from this insurance, but not so much. So that's what I got for you. That's what I wanted to share just to make sure that you are aware of it. Let me know. Let me know down in the comments. Have you run into a similar issue recently with the United States Post Office of insurance claims where this change in policy? I have submitted claims in the past, over the last couple years, and have never had this issue. The photos were enough to, provide the detail that was needed, and I was refunded money. And so I was a little surprised by this, but wanted to share it. And like I said, let me know down in the comments if you've run into a similar issue, and give me some. Is there a better way to try to avoid it? Maybe shipping UPS or FedEx. I know typically they can be a little bit more expensive, to ship items, but if they offer you better insurance protection, it may be worth looking into them. But I'm not sure. So let me know, all of you shipping gurus out there, Trev, Rob, Fatstacks. I know you guys ship a lot, and so let me know. But thanks for watching, and hopefully this doesn't happen to you. Hey YouTube, Brian. Hello YouTube, Brian LCS. Hey YouTube, Brian LCS. Thanks for stopping by the channel and this video, how you and me. I don't know what I'm singing. Let's try it again. Hey YouTube, Brian LCS. Thanks for stopping by the channel and this video, how USPS cost me over $100. So we're going to just jump right in. I recently had two different transactions, shipments, something that I had sold, comic book related, sent them out, UPS or